Okay, so it is 7:30 on Sunday the 5th, and there's a little backstory to this, but pretty much I wrecked my snowmobile last weekend. It's a '08 Arctic Cat M8, but I totaled the whole front end, but I found a sled that's pretty clean, but it's got a blown motor, and the guy only wants $750 for it. So we're gonna go get that and kind of try and make one good out of the two. And so yeah, this is my take at trying to do this YouTube thing. So we went on this trip last weekend. It was me and my buddy Philip, and I was originally going to film the whole thing and just make kind of a video out of it, and that kind of be my first video for the channel, but I didn't get very much filming in that weekend, and we didn't really get to ride much, and everything didn't quite go as planned, so that didn't quite happen. But this came of it, and I decided this could be a good idea to use as kind of the first video for the channel. So yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna head to his house. We're gonna hop in his truck, and we are going to head about 4 hours in the crappy snowy weather to go pick up a blown up old Arctic Cat sled. So that is what the old sled looks like right now, and then probably won't be able to see very well, but there we go. Got the new sled picked up, and so we just got back with that. So pretty much this sled ended up being a lot cleaner than my old one, and so I'm gonna end up putting the motor from my sled in this sled. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that back up tomorrow. So I got the other sled in the shop, and I'm gonna do a time lapse probably of just getting them both torn apart. The motor from the old one's going in the new one. I'm gonna tear the old one out, look at it, and see if it's worth trying to rebuild or whatnot. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I got this motor pretty much ready to come out. I got all the motor mounts undone. I got the throttle body out of the way down there. Everything is disconnected. other than a few little electronic components. So I'm gonna start getting that ready to come out completely, and then I'm gonna start working on this sled here. I still got all the pipes and everything to take out. I got all the plastics to get lifted up, and I got a bunch of stuff to disconnect on that one. So to get to there, to the same point here, is going to be a lot of work on that one. But at least now I kind of know what's the best way to get everything to this point. So I'm going to leave this one like this for now. I'm going to start working on tearing this apart. And then when I have some help, I'm going to get this motor completely taken out, put on the bench, so we can start working on it and hopefully get this motor from that sled into there. Got coolant dripping all over the ground now because I forgot to take this little guy off. It's connected to the bottom of the motor, but whew, got that thing out of there. Oh, that was a struggle, but now I know what to do for that one. I'm gonna get that all cleaned up and start the tear down on this one. Okay, so I got the motor out of this sled. It's sitting on the floor there. That's another day's problem. But so now that the motor's out, I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. I started cleaning up a little bit, but there's just so much. It had an oil leak somewhere, and it's pretty gross. Like there's just oil everywhere, and it must have been like covered in oil for a long time just because of how much stuff is stuck down in there. So I'm gonna get all that cleaned up, but for right now I'm gonna start working on this sled. I gotta get the pipes taken off so I can start undoing all the motor mounts and get some of the wiring undone, so that hopefully I can just get that ready to be taken out. I can finish cleaning up this sled, and then once I have that all unmounted, I'm gonna pick it up right from that sled, and it's gonna get stuck right back down into this. I'm gonna put all the motor mounts back on. I'm gonna get all the wiring connected, and hopefully it should be somewhat simple. So we're gonna get started on this one. I'm gonna probably put it back on a time lapse, and I'll pick it back up when I get everything undone there. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of cleaning off camera, and I was working on this sled, and we found a little crack on one of the motor mounts there, and a small crack in the main frame there. So my dad's buddy's got a TIG welder, so he's gonna come over and fix that. But it's just one more thing that we gotta fix. So project's taking a little bit more time than we had hoped, but we're gonna get there and we're gonna get it finished. One of the other things we found while we were doing some cleaning was the diamond drive shaft cover has actually been broke off, and it looks like it's been JB welded. So we're actually going to take the other diamond drive off of this sled behind that clutch, and we're going to take the diamond drive off, put it on that one. And so pretty much there's a few more things that we've got to swap, but all in all, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it finished, but project's just taking a little bit more time than we had hoped. So time's going by, snow's falling on the ground, but hopefully by the time that we get these put back together, we'll have some real good snow and we can go ride. Okay, so I just got back with the second sled. I took it and I had it welded today by a guy at work. He just helped me after work. So now I can start getting all the gunk cleaned up, get that diamond drive out of there. It's getting replaced with the one from the other sled. So that one's got some cracks in it and it wasn't as well taken care of. So swapping those, and then pretty much we'll be ready. That motor is gonna get right into the other one and should be a super simple swap. They're identical, so shouldn't have any problems there. We're gonna get that swapped. I'm gonna get the plastics all put it back on and it'll be ready to rip. So keep you updated. Here we go. Okay, so I got the sled cleaned up pretty good. So now I'm working on getting this diamond drive out. We're gonna see how that goes. All right, I'm gonna have to see if there's a different way I can get these few bolts. But after I get those bolts off, hopefully that whole thing should slide off. So I guess we're gonna see. Okay, so I thought I was gonna have to take all those bolts off to replace this cover, which is super oily, but turns out I just have to take the actual cover itself off, and then the rest of this just slides right in. So as soon as I get the other one out, I can just swap it right over and it'll be a done deal. So I got this one out. I'm just gonna set it aside and see if it's gonna be usable, keep it for parts. But so far I've got all the oil out of that. It's sitting there so I can get it ready to put the other one on. So yeah. Okay, so we did a little tearing apart off camera, and currently the sled is completely stripped down. So we're gonna get the other motor taken out of the other sled and we're gonna get it ready to go into this and get it all put back together. so we just got that all welded up. So we actually found under the steering column, there is supposed to be a little plate there. And on that one, it was actually broke off from the weight of the steering. So we put a new little plate in there, and then we got this plate to go underneath it that was actually already in there. Someone tried to fix it, but their fix broke. So we actually tried to fix it a little bit better. Got a plate welded in there. So we're gonna sandwich that other plate back under there. So hopefully that fixes that. We got, in the mess of parts over here, we got the motor out of that sled last night. So we're gonna get everything buttoned up, cleaned up, ready for the motor in here. We're pretty close, we just got some cleaning. And then the actual wiring harness from over here on this sled and all the distributors and everything, that all needs to come off. It's going on this sled. The whole computer is all just coming with that motor. So we got to do a little bit of that, and then get the diamond drive cover put on from that sled. And hopefully within either by tonight or by the end of tomorrow, this sled will be running. So we're going to do some more time lapses and let's get into it. Okay, so last night we got the front suspension from the other sled mostly put on. We got yesterday all the steerings repaired. I got the coils put on, or at least 3 of them. So getting a little bit further, the brake, we also took off the other sled because the one on this sled was completely toasted. So now I'm gonna take the wiring harness from the sled that we're taking the motor out of, put it on this sled, and then start getting the motor in this sled. And so, yeah. Okay, so me and my dad got the suspension, everything but the shocks. I got the gas tank on, I got the wiring harness all on. So now all that's left is we're gonna put the motor in there and start getting stuff connected. I got the diamond drive cover switched over. So yeah, we've got just a few more little things left, and then we're gonna start trying to see if we can get it running. Okay, so we got a lot done today. The motor's in, all the electricals hooked up. Got the coolant reservoir hooked up. Actually started adding some coolant. Got the oil tank in there. And pretty much all I've got left is I gotta put the exhaust on. I have to wait for this 8 RTV on the diamond drive to finish setting, so I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to put oil in that, and then I can put the clutch on there, put the belt on, then we gotta get the track tightened up, and then as soon as I get the exhaust on and add oil, should be good to start it up and make sure everything's running well. And then as soon as that happens, I got some plastics to put on. I was hoping to be able to use these plastics, but from the other wreck, they are ruined, so I have to use the other ones from this sled, but it's got some holes drilled in it. They're not as clean looking, but hopefully it should still turn out pretty good. So we got a lot done today. It started with nothing, just the tunnel and the frame, and now we got the whole motor put in, all the electricals hooked up, so pretty much ready to rock and roll. Okay, so we got the motor and everything all hooked up electrically. Started to add a little bit of oil. I gotta finish filling that up. We got coolant. Coolant's full. Hopefully I'll probably have to add a little bit, but so pretty much now all I gotta do is I have to add the oil to the diamond drive. I have to put the clutch on. Have to put the belt on. I have to put the muffler on, and then I'm gonna tighten the track, and then hopefully it should start. I'm fairly certain I have everything correct, so we're gonna find out when I try and get it to start up. Okay, so it is 11 o'clock at night. I got coolant in it, I got oil in it, the muffler's on, everything, all the plastics are put on. I got this one ski, had to try and get the scratcher on, I got that on. So it is completely put back together. I got the hood on, I got every little thing is on. The only thing that this thing needs to be rideable is I need to tighten the track, but I'm not gonna do that tonight. But I am going to see if I can get it started. So that is gonna be the biggest thing tonight. Is if it starts, great. If it doesn't, then something went wrong somewhere and we're gonna have to try and figure that out. But for now, let's try and get it started. Okay, so a little bit of pulling on that, and it doesn't really want to start. I did, however, get some lights on the screen. So the cable, this thingy, whatever you call it, the guy that I bought it from said that it was causing issues. So I might actually unplug that just because super easy thing. So might try and unplug that and see if I can get it to start. Okay, so I got the tether unplugged. I got the other 2 wires plugged back together. Fingers crossed that is all the problem. If not, I'm gonna be very disappointed. What is our measurement function here? Okay, so that is it for today's video. If you stayed this far, I really appreciate it. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more videos, camping, riding videos, more projects like this. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe. And if you liked this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video, and I will be trying to post a good bit more. So thank you, and see you next time.